Hey, it's Jacob here. Sorry about the light, it's not very good. I did a video, I've done two videos about this now, and YouTube have removed both these videos. What's that about? I don't know. Anyway, so here goes. Been discussing the election in America, which is today, with several people on several astrology and spiritual groups on Facebook. And the whole discussion about who's better, Trump or Clinton. Shockingly, people who claim to be spiritual are supporting Trump, who is racist, homophobic, sexist, misogynist, the son of a billionaire, so from a highly privileged background. And they're saying he is going to raise consciousness of the planet. Yes, he will. He'll raise the consciousness of the planet in regards to what total and utter cunts these people are. And Clinton's no better. She's in the pockets of the corporations. Okay, so Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, Pluto is halfway through Capricorn right now. And I'm uncovering, as Pluto does, what needs to be uncovered. So it's uncovering the flaws and the changes that need to be made in regards to how we run and operate the economic systems, our government, all of that, bureaucracy, organizations, all of that is being uncovered. Okay, we had Jupiter in Virgo, which highlighted and brought up the illusion and reality of what's really happened. So actually brought up the reality of what's going on. The North Node is still in Virgo, so this is kind of a destined cycle of the nodes, reacting with Pluto in Capricorn. Jupiter's now moved into Libra, which is expanding the need for fairness, equality, and balance. Jupiter's currently squaring Pluto, so this is jarring off in some respects, There isn't a choice. He had a choice with Sanders, he would have challenged the current system, and he came close, but Clinton clinched it, be it fair or unfair. The jury's out on that one. But the choice is the lesser of two evils. Both are going to bow to their corporate paymasters, and the corporations at the moment are in control of the planet. The 1% are in control of the planet. Corporations in the 1%, some of them are the same people, some of them are not, and they are destroying the planet economically, they're destroying the planet ecologically, they're ruining the environment, they are doing so for their own means, not the good of all. Capitalism of a small c is great, as in lots of individuals having their own little businesses and doing trade with each other and people buying off them and all of that. That is fine, and that's all great, because they're not doing so at the cost of the planet. So these corporations, they control the politicians, and the politicians make laws that support the needs of the corporations, not the people. This is even worse in America. It's very extreme in America. The corporations are polluting the planet, so they're not really for renewable energies. Now, most countries have free supplies of unlimited renewable energy: the sun, the wind, and the tide, the wave. Okay, and this could supply up to 100% of everyone's fucking energy needs. Now, this is a no fucking brainer, but the corporations don't like it because there's not huge amounts of profit in it. Likewise, governments don't really want peace because there's not profit in peace. There's profit in war because governments buy arms from the fucking corporations, and governments create wars to illicit oil and gas and supplies for the corporations, for profits for the corporations. This ain't rocket science, and more people are waking up to this, okay? Now, this is what Pluto in Capricorn is talking about very clearly. And, to be spiritually evolved and spiritually awake, you need to be aware of this. And the planet cannot ascend until we destroy these systems and replace them with something different and new. And this isn't about left or right wing politics. It's not about socialism or communism or whatever. It's about destroying corporatism and replacing it with something that is fairer and for the greater good of every single person on this planet. We have the resources to feed everybody. We have the resources to educate everybody. We have naturally growing plants that cure many diseases, but this is suppressed again for profit of the corporations. Corporations charging in America and many countries tens of thousands of pounds or dollars for treatment of people that the basic costs are a few £100 or dollars to make. Yet they're charging tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to people, and a lot of these things don't actually work and make you worse. Chemotherapy, 9 times out of 10 makes you worse. All for profit, all for their own good, and not for the good of the greater good of people, This is what Pluto in Capricorn's uncovering. We have coming up in like 2018, 19, 20, we have Saturn and both Jupiter going into Capricorn. In late December 2019, you're going to have the Sun, you're going to have Mercury, you're going to have Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto all in Capricorn. It's going to kick off. It's going to kick off. By then, I would envisage people being really angry and wanting change. Having seen all the bullshit from our politicians. Oh, we can't spend on education, we can't spend on health, we can't spend on this, we can't make things better for people because we need to. The economy can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. It's not the economy can't afford it, it's 1% don't want it. The economy is ran for their own good and means. All the evidence out there says that trickle down doesn't work. The money doesn't all cycle back. Just a small percentage of the money in the economy cycles back to the people on the bottom, the lower people. And tax breaks for billionaires doesn't work. Tax breaks for corporations doesn't work. They will fuck people over just to get more money. Now, all of this is building up because obviously, in 2023, Pluto goes into Aquarius, the sign of humanitarianism and stuff like that. Saturn will go into Aquarius, Jupiter will go into Aquarius, 2020, 21, 2022, that period of time. So there will be a huge push for humanitarianism, will be a huge push for a fairer planet, for the greater good of humanity. The true age of Aquarius will probably start when Pluto goes into Aquarius and Saturn goes into Aquarius. Saturn used to co-rule Aquarius until they discovered Uranus. Uranus will have gone into Taurus by then, okay? So it will be looking at money, breaking down money, how we make money, possessions, personal wealth, worth, and all of that. Aquarius, the ruler of Aquarius, Uranus, will be fucking that over and breaking it down. because it needs to be broken down before the breakthrough occurs. Obviously Mars will have the cycle around then as well. Mars will go through. Just checking my pyramids. Mars will go through Capricorn in like 2018, around then, and again it's going to go later this year. So that will be the first part of the process. When Mars goes into Capricorn later this year, that'll be the first part of the energy of pushing through. It's there already, pushing through again, and by the time it goes through Capricorn, when the other stuff is there, and it hits all of them, it's going to push it through. So, right, the way the global economy is run will end by 2021. If it doesn't end, then we will all be enslaved. There won't be any question about it. We will have authoritarianism throughout the world. We will have rule, and we won't have elections. We won't have freedom or anything like that. They will have won. So we need to win, okay? And the 99% need to fight and raise the consciousness of the planet. And the one start of doing that is not to buy from them anymore, not to buy into their products unless we really have to and we really need it. It's all ran now on people believing they need all this shit to make their lives better, but they don't. And when people awaken to this, they won't want to buy their products so much, and questioning our governments, bringing about political change in our individual countries, voting for candidates that are going to support the environment, voting for candidates that are going to look for fairness and equality in the way the economy is run, voting for candidates that aren't in the pockets of the corporations, people who aren't going to make and vote on their corporate interests, because that's who's funding their campaigns, and candidates who are going to close all the tax loopholes and make sure that people pay into the system what they're supposed to be paying into the system, because the majority of these people, percentile of their income, pay less percentage of their income than the people on the lower wages who are in work and paying taxes, and that ain't fair. They might be paying more as a lump sum of money, but in regards to percentage of their income, they're paying less. And the people who are poor are actually paying proportionately more of their income into the system that gives them up top the tax breaks, so they pay less. Okay, so this is all what Pluto in Capricorn is talking about, and you're going to have another election cycle by then. So by 2019, 2020 in America, you're going to have another election. So whoever wins this time is going to be up for election again. And because both candidates are very similar, as in terms of they're both at the bay of their corporate paymasters, you will probably get a candidate that's not. Okay, so it'd be a choice between a candidate that is pro-corporations and one that's against them, and that'll be interesting, especially for one who's against corporations wins, because that is when it will also really kick off, in terms of what they do, but the next 3 years are going to be very interesting, and the next 3 years are going to see much more people rising up and governments trying to take more and more control over people's lives. And please, in your hearts, wish for the greater good of humanity, and wish for illumination of all of this, so that people become aware of it and they vote in elections and they do what they can to raise the consciousness of the planet and raise their own consciousness and kind of end what's going on at the moment. Thank you.